in a small town down in Arkansas, where the river flows, there's a man with a passion that everybody knows. He's got a collection that'll make you stare. Vintage pocket knives laid with tender care.
Howdy everybody. Welcome to HT's EDC, coming at you this Thursday morning with my beautiful co-host on my left hand side here. This is Miss Abby. I think everybody that watches this channel knows her by now. But we are back home. Had a couple little days there. Tuesday and Wednesday we were traveling. I say traveling, we were 2 hours from home up in Little Rock, Arkansas. Had some doctor's appointments up there. My wife did. This wasn't for me this time. Both of these were for my wife. She had just an appointment on Tuesday and then a little procedure yesterday. Thank you for all the traveling, not mercies, graces, well wishes, I guess, find my words here. Thank you for the traveling well wishes and for those prayers for my wife. The procedure yesterday was, she did great. Everything looked good. That turned out well, so answered a prayer on that one. And all you folks that reached out, which was a lot of you, between the traveling well wishes and the prayers for my wife. Thank you from the both of us. There's power in prayer, and she's doing great. So we are back home. What else is going on in the world? A quick what you toting today. We got on basketball shorts here in this yellow shirt, so we're traveling light. We're toting light today. Pocket cross in the front left shorts pocket. We're back on the old MKM magnetic. You've seen about 3,422 times on this channel. And we are again rocking this. Shout out to the owner, just to let you know, I'm gonna tote this probably through the weekend. I'm getting my thoughts on this knife, by the way, folks. Go ahead and open it up and show y'all. If you hadn't seen it before, but this is the Buck 500, or AKA the Buck Duke pocket knife. And this was graciously sent in by one of the on-screen family. They heard that, shamefully, yours truly has neither owned this knife or really have ever had it much in hand. I think I might have handled it somewhere before. Not even sure about that, but I definitely haven't had an opportunity to carry it and garner any thoughts on it. So again, he jumped right up and says, hey, we'll take care of that. And he sent me in a couple of them to review and get my thoughts on, and then I'm gonna come back and give a halfway educated, we are talking about me, so halfway educated initial impressions / review on this knife. So we are still toting it, my man, and I am still appreciating that grace and that hospitality, the opportunity. Can't find my words this morning. The opportunity to tote this, and yeah, so we're gonna tote away probably through the weekend and the early part of next week. We're gonna get on here and tell you exactly what we think about this. But that is what else is. That's what's in the pocket today. What else? Really quickly, I got to shout out something that's been on my heart and on my mind. A young man up in Knoxville, Tennessee, my buddy 865. Talked to him, I think, matter of fact, talked to him a couple times yesterday, but he is back. He told me he had dropped a video. I'm about halfway through that errand, by the way. I've watched, I think it was like a 9-minute video, and I'm about halfway through watching it. But that's not what awesome leather what was that, leather skin? I got to that leather skin slip so far, and that thing is next level. I believe you said that's from somebody here in Arkansas that makes those slips. We'll have to hit you up on that and find out a little more information on that, because that is cooler than creek water. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. That is cool, and he was showing that on his video. If you hadn't seen that yet, get over there and check him out, because he's back. That's what I wanted to say. My main man, 865, my partner in crime, he is back, and that does my heart good, buddy. I have been waiting, and understandably so. Everybody probably knows the story why he's been gone, and very understandable. But I am stoked to have him back. He has dropped some content, and that's my guy. So special shout out to you, Aaron, from Old Stony. I am glad to see you back. Glad to see you slinging that awesome content that we have become accustomed to from your channel, and love you, buddy. All right, that being said, I think I showed you yesterday, had a little 5-minute snippet video I did yesterday from the hotel dining room that I was at, that we were staying at, and I showed you a quick peek. The wife kicked me out of the hotel. She was preparing, doing prep and all. She had to stay in the hotel Tuesday, pretty much leading up to her procedure, and we were just kind of sitting there, you know, looking at each other. She was reading a book. I'm watching halfway watching TV. She's like, she could see that I was losing my mind. She's like, "Get out of here. Isn't there a pawn shop or an antique store? We are in Little Rock. Get out of here. Go knife shopping." Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. From your lips to God's ear. So I took off and went to several places, and ended up finding 2 scores from my travels there around Little Rock. And I showed y'all this knife briefly yesterday, but we're gonna show it to you in detail today. This is one of my 2 scores. Oh yeah. We have an Ontario knife and tool, Ontario knives, or you guys know them as Old Hickory. Ontario is the mother company that makes all the Old Hickory. A lot of you guys have seen their, kitchen knives, their butcher knives. Usually have those wooden handles and say Old Hickory on them. They go way back. I don't know, don't have my date on when Old Hickory came to be, but you guys, if you've been around cutlery anytime at all, you've seen the old Hickory kitchen butcher knives, game knives or whatever. But they also make some pocket knives, and this is an Old Hickory, and this is made to look, and actually when I bought it, and when I picked it up, I actually knew when I got to looking at this one pretty good, this is Delrin. This is not wood, but again, I'm out here under this umbrella at my patio. I don't know how much those grain, there we go, back up a little bit. See all those grain work and all? I mean, it really looks like wood. So this is definitely a faux wood. This is Delrin, but again, you've heard me say 1,000 times, the 70s did Delrin, and I talk about Case a lot of times with their Delrin, and Old Timer obviously with their saw cut Delrin. I mean, saw cut Delrin that Old Timer uses, they're not trying to fool anybody. It is Delrin. They do their saw cuts, that ain't mimicking anything else, but how Case does their Delrin, my goodness, it looks like bone. There has been several times the Case Delrin I've had to look it up in a book to see if it's Delrin or bone. It's that good. And this is supposed to be, supposed to look like wood. And in my opinion, it's darn nice. Could I tell? Could I tell before I left the store that this is Delrin? 100%. You can tell, and it's just got a feel, especially here on these ends where it gets lighter. You could tell it. I could tell it wasn't wood, but I mean, when someone just picks this up right away, oh man, look at that wood. You would be fooled till you go to touching, feeling, and really scoping on it. My point is, it is very well done, Delrin. I like it a lot. What else is going on here? I have got my rag out here. I have been polishing. Haven't polished these blades yet. They kind of looks like somebody, when they sharpen this, there's quite a bit of scratches on this blade, or kind of swirls, if you can see that. You can probably see it right there. I don't know. I may go back and go through some progressions and see if I can get that out, but and then I may not. This is a user. I mean, this is a 19. And I had this wrote down too. I did look this up. These were made from 73 to 77. Do not quote me, but it was 70s. There was a 3 or 4 year span that these knives were made. And for those that don't know, Old Hickory, well, in this case, Ontario, this is a contract knife. And these were contracted out to Queen Steel, Queen Cutlery, USA. Queen made these knives for Ontario, aka Old Hickory. So these are not a Ontario manufactured in their plant knife. These were subbed out, contracted out to Queen. So this is actually a Queen manufactured, came out of the Queen plant knife. But and like I said, it was like a 4 or 5 year period that they made these knives, that Queen made these for Ontario, and it was 70s, early to kind of mid later. I want to say 73 to 77, but you guys can tear me up in the comments. I could be a little off on that, but it was 70s from what I see that these were made and ran by Queen. But what else we got going on? Nickel silver bolsters. I have took the liberty to shine up these bolsters. My lighting out here probably ain't gonna do that much good, and I have shined up these back springs. We have brass liners. You can see that around the front. Everything is brass, but it did shine up really well. Like I say, I don't have a whole lot of natural light out here. I'm not there, you know, you can tell a little bit there. All the nickel silver and all the brass I have hit and I have polished, and it looks good. Haven't done anything to these blades. Like I said, with those scratch marks in there, it would only do so good anyway. So if I really want to do something with these blades, I probably need to go through the progressions and do a little sanding on these if I want to get those out. But, you know, I may put a dadgum edge on this, folks, and rock on. It's a user. Again, I have this thing. This is a 1970 something knife. This is close, you know, 40 something, almost pushing 50-year-old knife. It ain't supposed to look, you know, it ain't supposed to look like it's 5 years old. A little character, and especially, I'm gonna tote it. It's gonna go in a sheath, and I'm fixing to cut and rock this thing. I may have made my own mind up. I may just leave it alone. I don't know. This blade right here does have a little bit of smuts and, you know, a lot of kind of scuff in there. By the way, this main blade is the only one that has any kind of writing on it. If you can see there is your O down here on your tang for Ontario, OK, for Ontario knives. And on this blade up here, if you can see it, there's a little bit of etching. It's kind of faded. It says OK again, Ontario 611. Maybe we can get that in there. There's the OK, Ontario 611, made in the USA. And you can probably see some of those, you know, swirls or scratches in that blade. All the blade meat, I mean, let's look at this. on both blades. I mean, there is no smile. You can see how straight that is going into that ricasso. Every bit of this blade is here on both blades, so it has been very, very minimally cut with. But I don't know if they just don't know how they got these scratches on there. If that was I don't know. That was, I couldn't see it being this high up, you know, with sharpening. But probably somebody just pried with it and used it, cutting some real abrasive stuff with it, the cutting they did do with it, and it just scratched it up. It happens. It's a user. Folks, you've heard me say, we love them and we collect them and we see the beauty in them. I do. Guilty as charged. But at the end of the day, knives were not built and made and manufactured all the way back to the 1800s. These pocket knives were not made and manufactured for a collector in mind. Shocker alert. They were made, they're tools. They were made to cut things and for people to have, to use, and to cut and get a task done. These are task-driven, specific task cutting tools that we find beautiful and collect and go crazy over. Again, guilty as charged, but at the end of the day, it's a tool. So, tools get used. Tools get dirty. Tools get scratches. You with me? You feel me? But yeah, but us collectors, we get nuts when they get scratches and get dirty and all that. But anyway, get off that little rant. But like I say, all the meat is still here. These blades are like untouched. By the way, we have a saber grind here. Or is that a little bit of a hollow? I'm gonna call that a saber grind here. If you can turn it right there, you see it about midway of the blade. Yeah, that's a saber grind. So we have a clip point here with a saber grind, and we just have a regular flat grind here on the old Skinner blade. And this is another one of those Skinner blades that I think is really cool. Has the up sweep to it, has this little curve. Me and Aaron was talking about that the other day. Case kind of does theirs, and it's straight here. Can y'all see that curve right there? That slight up sweep. Schrade, they do the upswept Skinner blade. Obviously, Ontario has followed suit. About half of them, actually probably more than half, do the upswept. But Case and a couple of others just do more of a straight Skinner blade. I love them both, but I'm kind of in the camp, if I had my choice, which one, you pin me down, which one do I like best? I kind of like this little swoop. Just gives it a little pizzazz, a little something different, you know? But anyway, that's about it. Stainless steel, if I hadn't mentioned, this is a 440. Probably, and you guys can tell me down in the comment, one thing that Queen did, some of Queen's stainless steel is a thing of legend, by the way. They really did all their steel. Their carbon steels was great too, but their Queen used a lot of 440C for the longest time, and I have no reason to think this isn't 440C. I know it says 440 series when you look it up, but they are notorious for using 440C, which is a higher grade of your 440 stainless. You know, you got 440A, B, C, and basically the difference is it goes up in A, B, C, it goes up in carbon content, making it a little, you know, you're going to get a little more edge retention and all that with the more carbon. So I believe I'm thinking this may be 440C. It is definitely a 440 stainless steel. It could be A, could be B, but I know they used a ton of 440C, and it is very, very good steel. I do need to go put an edge on this. This is something else I do. This blade here is still kind of working sharp on the clip point, but the old Skinner blade here, it ain't dull, but it needs some help. So definitely I'll be putting HT edges on this, and I don't know, may just throw it in the pocket after that. snap, walk and talk. Nice. Nice. Nice snap on everything. Centering. It looks like they're both slightly, they're not bad, but they're both favoring the show side. Yeah. This guy here, the Skinner blade is probably a little better. It's a little more to the middle, but this clip point kind of, there you go. Again, neither one close to the sidewall, but they are favoring, both of them are favoring the show side a little bit. Good snap. Yeah. Outside of the blades being a little scratched up, with this polish, you could, almost looks like brand new. Again, minus those scratches. All the blade meats there. Bolsters and all are in good shape. Liners and all, no gapping. I guess I showed y'all that. Everything looks good on those back springs and all. Only way to really know this ain't almost new old stock would be by those scratch blades. And honestly, I could take care of that if I decide to. I just don't know. I may put a, right now where I'm at with it, I don't know, but where I'm at with it as we speak, I think I'm gonna go get a dadgum sharpener, get my work sharp, put an edge on this, and Jimmy Crack Corn, I won't care. We'll start toting it. But anyway, that's what I got. We're at 21 minutes, so we're gonna get off here. And again, thank you guys for the prayers for the missus. She told me to tell you that too. She's not here. She's at work right now, back to work today, but she definitely appreciates all that, and we appreciate the traveling well wishes. Even came back with us with a couple of knives to show you. We love you guys. We're going to get out of here. God bless. HT out.
Buck knives gleaming under that old porch light. He'll tell their stories deep into the night. Reviews and torture tests, it's a sight to see. HT's EDC.